Hi everyone, welcome back to the Cider Shed. I'm Chris. I'm going to try 2 perries today and a bit of cheese. I don't know if they're going to work or not because they're from quite different places. The 2 perries I've got are from, well, one's from Somerset, one is from, actually, where is it from? Where is it from? Good question. Good question. Gloucestershire, okay. I knew it was one of the 3 counties. Herefordshire, Gloucestershire and Worcestershire, but I can't remember which one it was. So Gloucestershire, I mean, when you drive through that region, you cross borders all the time in different counties without even realising it, because they're almost counted as one. The 3 shires, I think, is what people call it. So yeah, I got a perry from Gloucestershire, from Pearson's. Let's have a look at it. Why don't I look at it? Pearson's cider, there we go. Never had anything from Pearson's before. This is a perry. I'd like to try some of this guy's cider as well at some point, if pos. The second one, we've had some stuff from this fellow before, the Stoke Red we had quite recently, and it is from Burrow Hill, Julian Templey at Burrow Hill. Heck of a character, makes some really interesting stuff. So we had the fancy sort of champagne style bottle of his Stoke Red. This is a 500ml perry, so not quite as high end as the other, but I mean everything he does is sort of high end really. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And the cheese I've got is a hard sheep's cheese from Spain. And when you talk about hard sheep's cheeses from Spain, there's one that really is the king of all of the Spanish hard sheep's cheeses, and that is Manchego. So hard sheep's cheese from La Mancha. This is the 1605, which is from a farm about 150 kilometers south of Madrid, I believe. So the breed of sheep is Manchega, pardon me, Manchega in La Mancha. So it has to be Manchega sheep for it to be Manchego. They traditionally were wrapped in esperto grass. I don't think you can see that sort of crisscross pattern on there. So they were drained. The curds were drained traditionally in like grass baskets. I don't think these are probably drained in grass baskets. They have plastic moulds now with that patternation on the inside of the plastic to make it look like it's been in the grass moulds. It doesn't really matter whether it's in grass moulds or plastic moulds. It does the same job. And on the top there's a pattern as well, which echoes the boards, the wooden boards that the cheeses were traditionally aged on. There's less than 10 farmstead, small production farmstead, where the sheep are on the farm where they make the cheese. Less than 10, I think, left in Spain. This is one of those 10. 1605 refers to the year that Don Quixote was published. So yeah, and Don Quixote is obviously the most famous character from La Mancha, the man of La Mancha. So yeah, I'm already getting lots of oils, sticky oils on my fingertips, because sheep's cheese is full of fats and it just starts to sweat. You don't see it gleaming. I don't think you can see that quite yet, but there's oils are gleaming on this because it's not at fridge temperature. It's warmed up a bit, so the fats are coming out of it. So what should we do first? Let's start with Burrow Hill. Julian Templey. First weapon of choice. So this is, what is this? 6.3%. Yep, doesn't have much more information on here about what the actual varietals are in here. But basically, aged in wood. Pretty much everything, I assume, everything he does is aged in wood. This looks like it's probably forced carbonated. I can't see any yeast in the bottom. So there you go. Let's have a little taste. Tasting glass. Pour it out. Got quite a nice colour on it for a perry. It's almost got that sort of, again, that slightly pink hue, greyish pink hue that I associate with a very light rosé or a Pinot Gris wine. I've been saying that a lot lately. So there you go. Quite bright. So I'm going to guess filtered. Won't smell like, ooh, nice nose. So you get pear on the nose for sure. I think there's sort of rich sweetness to it as well, like a baked character, which I quite like a pear tart maybe, something like that. Smells like it's going to be sweet, but you can't smell sweet. You only know when you drink it. So let's give it a taste and find out. Cheers. Actually, if this is forced carbonated, it's a nice carbonation. The bubbles are quite fine. When I was drawing the air of my palate there, they moosed up in my mouth. It was a nice texture. I really liked it. So, this isn't dry, off dry, but the sweetness in this, it won't be back sweetened. The sweetness will be from sorbitol, which is a non-fermentable sugar. It's not really sugar exactly. sugar alcohol, something like that. Anyway, basically non-fermentable, so most perries are going to have a little bit of sweetness because they're going to have some sorbitol in them. Nice texture on the palate. It's quite rounded and fresh. It feels like a ripe pear, this. But also there's a bit of acidity to it as well, which is nice. It balances the sugar, the sorbitol. Nice, round, welcoming. I feel like I could do with a little bit more acidity, but actually it's pretty pleasant. I like it. But it's bordering on flabby, but it's not flabby. And there's just enough of acid in there to balance it. Nice, delicate perry. But yeah, there is a baked pear character to it, almost a buttered baked pear character to it, which I find very pleasing. So, I'm going to have to neck this all down now because I've only got one glass. And then I'll try the Pearson, so just watch me chug this. Hopefully it won't come out my nose. Oh, hopefully it will. It'll look cool on the camera. I'm really classy. Okay. Second bottle, Pearson's. Never heard of this, never had it before, just saw it on a shelf in a cider shop and bought it. So, yeah, apparently this guy used to be an accountant in the city. Got sick of that, started making cider. Good on you, mate. Good on you, mate. Right. Let's pour this one out. Similar in colour, maybe a little more golden actually. Yeah, it is, it is. Let's have a look. So again, I'm guessing it's going to be force carbonated. It gets sent off to be bottled, so it's going to be force carbonated. Filtered as well, one suspects. That's quite a persistent, nice mousse in it. The bubbles in it as well look quite fine actually, a bit like they did in the other one in the Burrow Hill. So, yeah, more gold in this. Where's my thingamajig? There's my thingamajig. There you go. Quite golden in colour. It hasn't quite got that. Looks almost like a lager. That's what I would think. If I didn't know what it was, I'd go, oh, is that a lager? No, Chris, it's a perry. Oh, cool. So yeah, I'd say that was a lager. Looking at it, it's got that sort of golden lager colour. It's no bad thing. Like a German lager, you know, especially with that sort of thick head. Let's have a sniff. Totally different. Totally different. So this has got quite a different nose in it. A bit more of a funky nose, this one. Belching, because I just necked all that fizzy perry. Delicate again, but there is something else in here. I'm not obviously getting fruit. It smells like something else. What does it smell like? No, it can't be that. It smells a bit like a German lager, which is bizarre considering what I just said. It's got a sort of bready note to it, which you absolutely would get in a German lager. And there might be more pear in it than I'm getting, but because there was so much obvious pear in the first one, you know, compared to that, there's a lot less pear in the nose. I'm picking up the other things that one didn't have. That's all that. Yeah, it is. It's got a slight bready. Yeah, there's maybe some fruit coming through now though. But that was very interesting. That was very interesting. Okay, so if you gave this to me blind, I'd still think this was a lager. Sorry, really interesting nose. Really interesting nose. Really enjoying it. Okay, let's have a taste. Same sort of thing. Light bubbles. So I'm getting that kind of hint of breadiness on the palate as well, but there's loads more fruit on the palate than there was on the nose. This is tasty as well, actually. But that kind of bready character in the background, it reminds me of really good German lagers. Not Pilsners. German lagers have got a bready character to them. They're richer than Pilsners. The Pilsner is quite a different beast. They get lumped in together. All lagers, all Pilsners are lagers, but not all lagers are Pilsners, okay? There's a massive range of beers that can be classified as lagers, and some of them they can be dark, they can be light, you know, they're not just all look like, you know, Heineken or whatever. Yeah, slightly interesting funky nose. There's something else in the nose that's really bugging me. Really bugging me because I know what it is and I can't get it. I can't, and my brain won't allow me to go there. Okay. bit of sugariness. Yeah, okay. Delicate pear flavour. Again, residual sugar, quite low sorbitol. Not too much though. Decent acidity. There's like a round bready character on this. This is actually very pleasing. Okay, second weapon of choice. Cheese knife. Let's have a go at this. So, I bought this today and I was really familiar to me. Then I realised, when I lived in New York, I helped set up a cheese program for like a high-end deli / craft beer bar in Brooklyn. And I sold this cheese. And I completely forgot that I'd sold this cheese until I saw it. And then it all came flooding back. This is the 11 months, this actual version of this cheese. Let's have a go. Salt, but nice. Acidity. On the nose it smelled quite sweet, like caramel. But also a hint of butyric, just the merest hint. And you associate that with like bile, but there's a tiny hint of it. And actually, I don't mind that. I actually judged at the World Cheese Awards once, and I got given the Spanish DO section, like basically Manchego section. I was really excited because I thought, oh great, I've got something interesting to judge. It's one of the worst things I've ever judged. It was one of the worst things I've ever judged. I had to spit out some of the cheese because it all tasted of butyric acid, kind of bile / sick. Not a nice thing to say, but that is literally what it tastes like. That's what butyric acid is. It's the same thing. There's just the tiniest hint of it, but actually it works with the sweetness. There's like a caramel. There's a hair-like character to it, like fresh hair, I think there's one. There's a crystalline texture which comes from the aging. Let's try it with this. It's actually not bad. Those bubbles, like I always said, got lots of fat. You want bubbles to scrub your palate clean. And those like that moussey-like texture really does that. This is a good Manchego. A really good Manchego. It's 11 months old. It's a Noah Tide. And traditionally what you probably have with this is like a sherry. Like Oloroso, something sort of dry but nutty in character. But it's good. Salt's there again, but it's integrated. It's nice. The acidity balances out really well. It's a really good balanced cheese out. Really good. And that hint of caramel and hair on the back end, I really like it. Not obvious bedfellows. A Gloucestershire Perry and a La Mancha cheese, sheep cheese, but not too bad. Let's go for the Somerset one. Because obviously Somerset's got a lot more in common with La Mancha. Gloucestershire. Let's have a look. Okay. One more bit. I'm going to keep some of this cheese and try it tomorrow as well with something a bit drier and funkier. I mean, I don't want to say closer in character to a sherry, but you know, something which is dry, because I think that would work really well. That sweetness of this, I think, would work well with something that's dry. Really snackable. I want some sherry with that. Some cured ham, some almonds, quince paste, membrillo. Good night in. Cheers. Okay. I think the second one works better because it's got a slightly bolder pear character. I think that sweet, rich fruit character really balances with the cheese. I think it does. These are both decent. These are both good perries. I like them both. I knew the Burrow Hill, didn't know Pearson's, so that's a revelation. Going to try and get some more of that stuff to try. I drive quite close to that, where that's made quite often. So it'd be good to try a few more things and see, see if they're all as interesting as that, because that's a solid perry. Yeah, I'm going to go for the Burrow Hill. Not because it's a better perry, just because it's better suited to that, I think. It's a richer, rounder, bit more sugar. It's got some acidity, salt, a bit of caramel element to it, that cheese. I just think there's more connectivity between the two. Cool. Okay, guys. That was two perries and a Manchego. And I had a very nice time. So yeah, I'm going to try that. I'm going to keep some of that back for tomorrow. I've also got a goat's cheese, which is made in a very similar style to that from Spain. I'll bring that up tomorrow as well. It's got crazy. It's Friday. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for joining me. Get all this Manchego. I got that one from Brindisi. So if you've got Brindisi, you can buy it online. Yeah, and if you can find some Burrow Hill, which you should be able to, you know, get some. Pearson's, not sure about that. I've never had it before, and I drink a lot of cider. But yeah, just drink more perry, full stop. It can be delicious. It's made well and made, you know, traditionally. Okay, guys, thank you for joining me. I'll see you again soon, I hope. Cheers.